Here with Huskies head coach Mike Kunagonis, as the Huskies will now be traveling to Kent, Ohio to take on the Kent State Golden Flashes this coming up weekend. Coach, before we talk a little bit about Kent State, let's talk about this past week. You guys had a solid victory over UIC to take the series over UIC this season, and then you guys backed that up with a great win over Trinity Christian College yesterday. Talk a little bit about those games and then leading into this weekend.
Yeah, you know, going into any MAC conference weekend, momentum's huge, and for us to go out and get a series win against UIC and have bragging rights for a year, they had them last year, we get to have them this year going into the off season, and then to beat a really good Trinity team. Just really nice to get some of that momentum. 30 hits between the 2 days. It's nice to get the offense going a little bit. It's nice to get our staff feeling good and get those good vibes going into that MAC weekend.
You attributed, or you touched on a little bit about the 30 hits. What can you attribute mostly to that? Just the weather, the fact that it was a little bit better this past week, or just the fact that the guys were really seeing the ball well?
You know, I've been saying it for the last week and a half, 2 weeks here. We've had 3 great weeks of practice. We've had a lot of great adjustments made by our hitters, and for whatever reason, we just weren't seeing the fruits of our labor up to that point. And we just kept on grinding through and battling, and I think it showed here in the midweek. And, you know, now we need to carry that on into a very good Kent team.
And talk a little bit about this upcoming weekend with Kent State. Always tough with Mid-American Conference games. Talk a little bit about how much of a MAC battle it's going to be this weekend.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't really matter who you're playing in our league. It's all the way 1 through 10. It's going to be a grind of a weekend, and we've seen that the last 3 weekends, and I anticipate another dogfight going into this weekend. You know, Kent's a very good team, traditional power in the league. You know, last year they took 2 of 3 from us here. We had our opportunities to switch that series, though. So, you know, we owe those guys a little bit of payback to go and get them at their home field like they got us last year. And I'm anticipating a great weekend and great starts from Tanner Foster and Mike Lazowitz. And, you know, we're going to go TBD on Sunday. But I really think that our guys are ready to really bust out in the league.
And touch a little bit more about the pitching matchups. I mean, where do you think the guys are going to see most of their success for in the pitching matchups?
Yeah, I just think both those guys need to continue to do the things they've been doing. And, you know, Tanner had a great outing last week, and all of a sudden he's cruising through 5, and then the wheels kind of fell off in the 6th there, I believe. And, you know, so he has to just do a little bit better of a job, damage control when he does get into that lull, because every arm and every pitcher gets into that. You're going to have a tough spot. So what we need to do is to limit the damage whenever we can. You know, if Michael continues to do what he's been doing for us, and he's going to continue to give us great opportunities to win games just like he's been doing all season. And I think, you know, we've seen the maturation process with both of our guys, being Tanner and Mike, over the course of the year, and how those guys prepare and continue to get better from week to week. And, you know, it's really shown the last few starts for those guys.
All right. Well, thanks so much for taking the time today, Mike, and we wish you guys the best of luck this weekend.
Thanks. Take care.